Hello, my equestrian friends. It's Lisa, the budget equestrian, and I am back. I had a little hiatus, but I thought it would be a fun video for you today to clean my barn with me. Oh yes, we are cleaning the barn, and I thought you guys might enjoy it. So first thing I have to do when I'm cleaning the barn is dump the water out. It doesn't matter how full it is, if it's halfway full, quarter of the way full, I will dump it out and clean it and scrub it once a week, and this is how I do it. I put a little bit of water in and then just some dish soap, and then I use a bucket scrubber and I just scrub the sides, the bottom, everywhere. The entire water tank gets scrubbed out, hopefully getting off all of the nasty algae that tends to collect in the bottom and on the sides. And then once I've scrubbed everything and I let it set for just a minute, and then I just rinse out the water tank. Not too hard, but it is a chore. And after I have the tank all rinsed out, I like to clean the area where the water tank is going to lay, because sometimes there'll be little remnants of horse poop or just dirt and mud. So I like to try to make sure I keep it as clean as possible, I guess, that, you know, it's dirt. So I just try to keep it nice and even so that the water tank will hopefully sit level. And once I have that done, then I bring the water tank back. And I think you can see we actually cut this fence panel so that the water tank will fit in between the two stalls. That way I only have to use one tank heater during the winter time. And this is what it looks like when it's all clean and filled. I got most of the algae off. There was still a little bit on the bottom, but that's okay. Then after I get the water tank all clean, then I start working on their paddocks or their pens, whatever you want to call it. And I like to clean these once a week. I will clean them out, periodically throughout the week. But on the weekends, I really like to start over and have a nice fresh base and get all of the remnants of everything that's left in there and make it all nice and pretty. And I find if I do this once a week or every other week, that it really helps to cut down on the mud that can accumulate, especially when it's really rainy. Not that we've had any rain lately, but keeping the extra dirt and stuff out really helps to cut down on the mud, and it makes it easier to clean too.
Keep on smiling in my tiny bubble, like a movie without ending. Spending time like it was going backwards. Bruises covering our walls, but they fall down. Diving deeper in the books that we read blind. Breathing in and breathing out to get smarter. Not working out for me, yeah. Got no money on my mind, tell my mommy I'm alright. Even laughing at the jokes you would tell me. Keep myself inside.
And I can't forget to clean out the water bucket in Frisbee's stall too. Okay, so Frisbee's paddock is clean, so now it's time to strip his stall. And usually what I'll do is I will add 1 to 2 bags of shavings when I'm doing this. Right now I'm only going to add 1, but I'm stripping out everything in his stall, all the way down to the big dark spot in the center of the stall. That's where he tends to pee. He won't pee outside, I don't know why, but that's the pee spot in his stall. So I want to get all of the shavings out and all of the remnants of the horse poop that I might have missed.
Walls, but they fall down. Diving deeper in the books that we read blind.
once I have the stall all stripped down, then I'm going to sprinkle some PDZ or baking soda onto the spot where it's wet. And this is the powder PDZ. I've had really, really good results with this. And it absorbs a lot, and it also absorbs that ammonia odor that can occur. And once the PDZ is down, then I like to take these pellets, and this is called animal bedding. They're really thick wood pellets, and I put this in the wet spot in the stall. And this is a 40-pound bag, and it costs about $5 for that size of a bag, but it really helps to absorb the urine and the odor from it, and it makes it much easier to clean too. This is what the bag looks like, and this is what the bedding looks like. It's like wood pellets. So I put that in the wet or the urine spot, and then I just spread out the pellets so that they're just going to cover the spot where Frisbee goes to the bathroom. And then I get a bag of just regular wood shavings, and that goes over the rest of his stall. And their stalls are about 10 by 12 feet, so it's not a huge deep bed of shavings, but I do find it's a lot easier to clean with not having a ton of shavings in the stall. And then this is so cool. I have wanted to make a scratching post for my horses, and I found these reflexology mats on Amazon. They were $11.99 for 2 of them. So where I'm going to put it is in the front of their paddocks where those landscaping timbers are, because they always rub on the landscaping timbers. And I was thinking, well, I'd really like to make a scratching post for them. But those scratching posts for horses, the little pieces that you buy, they're really expensive. This was a really affordable option, and so far it's working really well. So what I did was just take a mat, and I just wrapped it around the landscaping timber, and I just used exterior grade screws to hold it in place. Hopefully they'll last. So far the horses have been using them, and they seem to like them, and they're not pushing on the poles nearly as much as they were when it was just the lumber. So I'm pretty excited about this, and I really wanted to share it with you guys. If you go on to Amazon, they have them. That's where I got it. It was $11.99, like I said, for 2. So I put it on the 3 landscaping timbers in the front of my horses' pens. And I will leave a link to these mats in the description box below if you guys would like to try them out. To me, it was worth it. It is saving my poles, and it's giving my horses something that they can scratch their itchy spots. And after I cleaned Frisbee's stall, then I had to clean Ethan's paddock and his stall. So I thought I would just share with you, this is how I clean Ethan's stall. Not much different than how I clean Frisbee's, but I think you can see I've got 2 different types of rakes that I'm using. The one that I'm using right now is the Dream Fork, the Wave Fork, so you can get different colored tines for it. And I've had this for about 5 years, and I love it. It's lasted a long time. And the green rake that's in there, that's just a regular standard plastic lawn broom, but it works really good for cleaning the entire paddock area all at one time. And then again, I just did the same thing in Ethan's stall like I did for Frisbee. I cleaned out all of the old bedding first. My mom was texting me. I had to say hi to my mom. Then I do the PDZ powder on the wet spot. And then again, another bag of the wood pellets, which is animal bedding. I really like that stuff. It really works great to put underneath the shavings. And then just dump the bag of shavings onto the floor of the stall. And these are the stalls once they're all cleaned and ready for the horses to come in. This is Ethan's stall, and this is Frisbee's stall. There's Frisbee's paddock, and there's Ethan's paddock. And there you can see my fun little scratching post additions that I did on the ends of the stalls. And then once I have my stalls and paddocks all clean, I really like to clean up outside around the stable area as well. So I go ahead and use my big lawn broom and just rake up all of the loose dirt, loose hay, or anything else that might be around, and I get rid of that too. And I just like making sure it's all nice and pretty. I don't know why, but I love doing this. This is like my favorite part of my cleaning routine. It's like this is the final thing, and I make sure everything's nice and cleaned up. And then it was time to feed the horses their evening meal. So Ethan got his hay first. And then Frisbee gets his hay. And then they get their feed and their supplements. And I just dump that on top of their hay. They seem to be really happy. That's Ethan enjoying his hay and his grain. And Frisbee enjoying his dinner too. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video today, and I promise new videos will be coming. No more hiatus. I'll talk to you guys again real soon.